We're here with period 6, rock and roll. We're going to go ahead. We're going to have a mini seminar about this text within 10 minutes. I don't know if we can get it done in 10 minutes, but I think we can. Siri, start my timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes and counting.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to read about our America. And everyone is in on this document. All right, I want to give a shout out to my peeps that are on this document. Let's go, Alvaro, Antonio, Ashley, D'Angeli, Remy, Shirley, Stephanie, Cesar, Chendo. We got Juan Sevilla, Anonymous Dragon. I can't give you points unless you're logged in with Animo, but I love that you're here, Anonymous Dragon. Angel, Jose, Rafa, the list goes on. Kyla, Jose, and they keep logging on. So here are the directions, guys. This is our America. Highlight in green where Lee Allen Jones is describing like this perfect America, the American dream. Highlight in yellow where Lee Allen Jones is describing reality, like what we're really seeing. And if there's something that really hits you like home, you can relate to this. Highlight it in blue. You can comment in the margins. I wonder why this makes me think that. This makes me think about it's important because I can relate to. And then here on the sides, I want you to write ideas for our art piece, right? So metaphors. What are you going to include in your art piece? If that's too much, you could bold and underline ideas in the text that give you textual evidence that gives you ideas. And then every once in a while, I'm going to stop and I'm going to ask a question. If I see you typing, right, like you're here live, you're YouTube famous, and you're going to rock and roll. And look at all these people working ahead. Look. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to read. Hello. This is Lee Allen Jones with the last chapter. It's November 19, 1996. Okay, and I want to leave you with some final words about our America. We live in two different Americas. Our laws are totally different. Our language is totally different. And our lives are totally different. In the ghetto, I've never felt American. I've only felt African American. An American is supposed to have life, liberty, prosperity, and happiness. But an African American is due pain, poverty, stress, and anxiety. As an African American, I have experienced beautiful things, but the majority of things I've experienced are not beautiful. Okay, stop and think. Here we go. Who's going to be with me in the text box? Click. What are some beautiful things that you've experienced? What are some not beautiful things that you've experienced? And sign your name. You just write dash. What are some beautiful things that you've experienced in America? What are some not beautiful? You don't have to write in a complete sentence. We're just talking to each other. What are some beautiful things that you've experienced? What are some not beautiful things? And if you're all crowded, you could hit return, and you can make your own space, below. You could click down here if you're like, oh my God, everyone's typing. Go ahead, go down a little bit lower and write some ideas. What are some beautiful things you've experienced? What are some not beautiful things you've experienced? Okay, someone says racial slurs, right? I've gotten help from strangers when I'm lost. So there's hope. There's hope. Okay, so Alvaro, what is that? What do you mean? Maybe be a little bit more specific about the racism you've experienced. I've helped some people in need. I've gotten yelled at and hated on. Strangers have helped us clean. Okay, and then again, if you have any metaphors, ideas for metaphors, you're putting at the side. Remy says, I can relate to this because I want to think about the positive things there are. There are just too many negative things. Right, Remy? Let's go. Let's think positive. He doesn't feel American, which is an example. Okay, and then I think Remy is going to write some metaphors, some ideas for metaphors that the text is making him thinking of. Okay, guys, rock and roll. This will help you with the objective, your circle map, as you're thinking about, What are the metaphors I want to include in my art piece? Okay, I'm going to keep going. Keep thinking. Think with me. This is a seminar. Here we go. Talk to each other. Comment. And I don't even have it as bad as most. There are millions of young men and women living the struggle even harder than me. Okay, like you could snap, like highlight it in blue, right? I agree with this because, right? Ashley says this is facts. As children, they have to make day-to-day decisions about whether to go to school or whether to go to the corner and sell drugs, right? As children, they know that there may not be a tomorrow. Why are African American children faced with this dilemma at such a young age? Supposed to say at. Sorry guys, I take this. Why must they look down the road to a future they may not never see? I think this is interesting. If anyone wants to write, like what does that look like in an art piece, right? Because I think we're going to have the roads, the perspective roads. So maybe one road goes negative, one road is positive. I don't know. What have my people done to deserve this? And yet I am supposed to feel American. I am supposed to feel patriotic. I'm just double checking. I want to make sure you guys can all see this. Just like checking. Guys, just remember we're on this Google Doc. So if you're like, what's going on, right? If you're not like typing with everyone, you're not sure, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to double check that you're all here. And I'm going to go up again to share. Anyone with this link can edit. And once again, I'm dropping this in the chat. We're having like a group seminar. Yeah, I'm screen recording. You could come off it. You could go ahead and you can talk. Okay, look at all these ideas that are coming in. I love it. Okay, stop and think. Do you feel American? Why or why not? I do feel American because I was born here and I can speak English and I have a great education. But people I know, others don't because of what society teaches others and or speaks of our name. I feel American because I was born here. I feel American because it's half and half. Interesting, Leslie. I feel American because I grew up in the U.S., but not really because American citizens don't want us here. Wow, truth. I feel American because I was born here. I still get attacked for my skin color, right? So it's like we're in the middle. It's so complicated. I feel American because I believe in what I think is right, and I want to make a change for the better. I love it. I feel like we're having this seminar and we're all talking together, and it's just so cool. You guys, I love you. You're my light. You're my hope. I don't think I'm American because I am not patriotic. I like how you guys are being real with each other. And thank you for signing, right? And sharing your experiences. Because this is complicated, but now we know, we're getting a sense of our circle map and what we're going to like put in our art piece. How are you going to support your thesis? Getting ideas from the text. I am supposed to love this system that has been detrimental to the lives of my people. It's hard for me to say how I'm an American when I live in second America. An America that doesn't wave the red, white, and blue flag with 50 states. I live in a community that waves a white flag. Oh, that would be a good metaphor. I'm going to bold that. A white flag. Like, what if you guys had that in your art piece, like a white flag? Because we have almost given up. I live in a community where on the walls are the names of fallen comrades of war. Guys, fallen comrades, the people who have fallen. Think about them. Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. The word comrades means like friends. Like people fall in this country. I live in second America. Oops, went up. I live in second America. Okay, so it's so interesting. So people are working ahead. I love it. What does Lee Allen Jones mean by second America? What she means is that the red, white, and blue means freedom and justice for all, but in reality, it doesn't mean for all. That's where you're going, right? The Ellen Jones means that the America she lives in is the America that gets scraps from the table. Wow, Remy, that's deep. They don't get the special treatment. Wow. Okay, guys, that's been 10 minutes. I'm going to keep going. We're going to rock and roll this because I feel like we're getting a lot of ideas. We're going to go a little bit further. I think she means that America has the white and wealthy America and the other is neglected. Okay, what she means by second America is having a different perspective. Thank you for using that art word, Leslie. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to keep going. You guys keep annotating. I live here not because I chose to, but because I have to. Ooh, can anyone relate to that? Because I have to. Highlight that in blue if you can relate to it. I hate to sound militant, but it's what I feel. I wonder sometimes, why am I alive? What is my purpose? I'm seeing if anyone's commenting on the side. Like, I can relate to this because, and I can always find a reason. But for the kids whose mother, sorry, that's supposed to be, say whose, I typed this up, whose mother is a crack addict and who doesn't have a father and who doesn't have a meal at night and has holes in his shoes when he walks the streets and could barely read and could barely communicate his feelings, which is almost the usual characteristic of a child from the ghetto. Like, what does that look like in a perspective project? The ghetto. When he asks himself the question, what is my reason for being? What is my purpose? What can he tell myself? These are the thoughts that go in my mind and really mesmerize me. Guys, that word mesmerize, he's like, it's like amazes me. Like, you don't understand. You're kind of like, you have no words that this is happening in our country right now. All of us can make a difference in this country if we choose to do so. Do you agree with this statement? Why or why not? I strongly agree with this because if all of us want to make a difference, we can. There's much of us and those people in office or whatever, but some people don't want to give in. They totally feel fine in what's going on. I love that, Ashley. I think this will only work when the majority believe, right? We need to like get that majority. Guys, you guys are the young. You got to inspire people. You are the majority. I agree because if we want to make a difference, we have to rise up together. So what does that look like in your art piece, rising up together? Think about that circle map that you're going to do during academic prep. Seeing the points, seeing how everyone's annotating. We're really like answering these questions. I love this. Some people, it's okay. You can write there, Angel. It's okay. Some people might look at me and say, he's just some little N-word from the ghetto that knows some big words. Well, true. That might be, but listen to what I'm saying. I know you don't want to hear about the pain and suffering that's going on in that part of the city. Wow. Can you guys relate to that? Remy. I know you don't want to hear about the kids getting shot in that part of the city. I know you don't want to hear about the kids. Oh, wait, I did it twice. I typed it twice. Typed it late last night. But little do you know that in that part of the city, that's your part of the city too. Okay, stop and think. What does he mean by that part of the city? Is your part of the city too? What does he mean by that? Okay, so Rosendo, Chendo means that some people don't experience the brutality that colored people are facing. I love how you're bringing in the ethnic studies, Chendo. Love it. Okay, nice, D'Angeli. Some part in that part of the city is usually a part where people don't live in that part called the hood, unsafe. This is our neighborhood, this is our city, and this is our America. And we somehow must find a way to help each other. Do you guys agree with this? We must come together. No matter what you believe in, no matter what you believe in, no matter how you look. Do you agree with this, guys? That we got to come together and find some concrete solution to the problems of the ghetto. Right now, we are at the point of no return. We've got to make a change because if we don't, we'll go into the millennium in total disarray. The word disarray means mess. Mess. So, Do you think the country's in a mess right now? Do you agree or disagree? But I believe it's going to be all right. Somehow, some way, I believe in my heart that we can make this happen. Not me by myself, not you by yourself. I'm talking about all of us together. Okay, highlight, like, do you relate to it? Do you agree? Are you going to use this in your piece, in your art piece? Living together in our America. Think about those metaphors you're going to put in your circle map. Our America, guys. I'm sorry, I know we're going over, we're going to just end in a second, but I just want you guys to think, like, do you agree or disagree with this? You will create an art piece that helps the viewer to understand your perspective of America. Okay? You want the audience to believe that we can make this happen. What might either of these art pieces look like? And you could keep writing here during academic prep. Like, you want your art piece to believe no matter how messed up the country is, we're going to get through this together. This is Lee Allen Jones on November 19. I hope I survive. I hope I survive. I hope I survive. How can creating art during this time be a form of survival? Okay, so we're going to like build on that during academic prep. How can we leverage art to create a hopeful future? If I look here, this is where we're going. If I look back and I see you guys are annotating, maybe we were going a little fast, but this is yours to look back on and get ideas for that circle map. Okay?